All right, all right. I'm back at the podcast today. I have with me the owner of VRI Homes, Larry Vecchio. Nice to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
How's everything been going?
We're good.
It's been a while since we've seen each other, but I'm glad that we were able to coordinate the podcast and get you on here. You have a lot of cool stuff going on, and I always like to talk to people that have good stuff going on.
Well, thank you for the invite. I'm very happy for you. This thing's turned out to be a pretty cool little thing you're doing here. So, I wish you a lot of luck, and I'm
Thank
happy to
you.
be part of it.
It keeps expanding and we keep going with it. Wingman is established and doing its thing, but like the podcast, Grit Won't Quit, is just on its own little trajectory. So we're kind of letting it tell us where to go. The visitors and the guests are steering the ship for Grit Won't Quit right now, and we're just going along for the ride. So let's dive right into it. So you've owned a real estate firm for many years. How many,
years.
how many years have you been in the game?
44 years.
44 years you've been in the game. I don't believe that you're that old, but you've seen some peaks, some valleys, some highs, some lows, some everything in between. But now for the last few years, you have no inventory in Monmouth County.
Yeah. It's a problem, and I was just telling my agents the other day. When I think back of the real estate business in general, probably a lot of the agents that are in it today don't even know what a normal market is. We just have such an inventory imbalance that what you used to do 20 years ago to sell real estate you don't even get to that anymore.
Yep.
So that's the challenge. It's how can that imbalance get fixed, or when will it get fixed is the question.
So do you think I'm biased to Monmouth and Ocean County because that's where I live and work and it's where most of my activities are, but is it everywhere, or is it?
Yeah, it's pretty much around the country. Yeah,
It's around the country.
Yeah, everywhere. I mean, the markets that we're familiar with, for sure, but yeah, all over. It's still a supply and demand
Yep.
issue.
So you have something that's unique to your agency that has kind of set you apart a little bit. So you're coming into my territory of the tech territory. So let's talk about Homes in and the town and the local business that you've created through Homes In, because that's pretty cool.
Real estate's always been local, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing, and you look at. I saw Gary Vee speak in New York right before COVID, and he ended up his speech. If you listen to his speech, you'd swear he worked for me, like he knew what we were doing. But basically, he said that we had to become a media company. We think we're in the real estate business, but you're in the media business. And when I looked at the real estate business in general and what people were doing, it kept coming back to me that the community was the single most important thing, neighborhoods or community. And the more we researched it, the more we found that, if we could do something, if we could build a community site and help local businesses insert yourself into that community, you could then become that real estate talk of the town.
Sure.
And that was our goal. So we started out, we researched. I actually remember going to the Asbury Park Press years ago, and I was going to get a website. Back then I didn't even have a website. And it was like, and I remember saying to the girl there, what would you search if you were looking for a house? And she kept coming back with homes in Middletown or homes in Keyport, and that's how it started. So we literally, and then when we researched it, we found that homes in was one of the single most searched terms in Google, according to real estate. So we ended up acquiring only at the time we acquired about 15 or 20 domains, and now today we have thousands. We own homesinunitedstates.com, homesinforeclosure.com, and but I really believe that I tell people all the time, I'm not sure if I'll be selling real estate in 5 or 10 years from now, but Homes in Belmar will be.
Definitely. And that's pretty cool. So now the idea is once you have Homes in Belmar, let's just use since we're in Belmar today. So homesinbelmar.com, when they arrive, what do they see?
So we're lucky enough. One of the beauty things about being in the real estate business is I have access to the MLS. So we're able to insert the MLS IDX.
The IDX feed.
And so we're able to not only add all the active MLS listings, but we also have a platform for sale by owners. So we actually have for sale by owner access too. So we have the MLS feed. We have local business advertisement. We have our partners, our mortgage, our title, our insurance partners all featured on the page. And we create a local guide. so that somebody moving to the town, they could get access to this free local guide simply by downloading it on the site. And it promotes all the local businesses and things in town. And that's kind of the basic. And then we also have a Facebook page and an Instagram page for each town.
Sure.
So it helps us promote. But originally, when I built it, I was trying to, it's funny. Back then, being in real estate for all this time, my primary focus was always, marketing properties. How could I help a seller sell their property? And I can remember, often, we'd be concerned because we had a property on the market for 30 or 60 or 90 days and it didn't sell. And what could we do to help sell the property? So when I started building this, it was to help home sellers get more exposure.
Sure.
That was the concept behind it. And it's evolved into this local community site in addition to that.
Which is pretty cool.
It's amazing. I'm passionate about it,
Yep.
as you can see, and
Ever since I met you, you loved homes, and you didn't know really where it was going.
I
but
know it was a struggle to honestly even to get my own agents to understand it and use it. It's been a struggle.
So now you have the title, the mortgage, the real estate,
Yeah.
and you're plugged into that network. So you have some nice advantages, especially locally, to get started
Yeah.
because you have all these connections over your time running an agent, a real estate firm. So now they're in there. So then when people are looking, they're coming onto the site and they're, have potential. Like the average person that doesn't have an agent yet that's thinking about moving to Belmar, they can see and get a potential agent, a potential title, potential mortgage person. They could also get the guide and learn more about the town. And then the local businesses have a listing. Do they have like specials on it, or?
They could do a lot of things. We have coupons and things like that they could do. So yeah, it's endless. We actually just added a video feature now, so we can do some video features for local businesses too. So
If you have any good ones that
evolving.
would be good for the podcast, let me know.
That'd be great.
That would be a nice little add-on for them.
Yeah.
Belmar, we're doing something with them, for some of their downtown businesses. We're going to start doing videos to help promote, Main Street in Belmar, which is pretty cool. I think every downtown, as more and more people go online to buy and look for stuff, you need to really promote that downtown because a town's going to not look good if they don't have a good downtown.
No, you're right. You're right.
So I think, I try to shop local as much as possible just because I know the business owners and just, when possible, you want to be able to support them. So it's good. So now the real estate has kind of evolved as, and more people are going online. So where do you see that kind of going?
Listen, it's going to stay online. Right now, you have your main, the three big ones, the homes.com, Zillow, and realtor.com are pretty much the dominant part. But one of the things I learned as I was doing this is, consumers typically avoided real estate companies online. They would go to a third party site before they would go to a real estate company site. So that's why we felt Homes In would be, a better platform, almost like a secret agent online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one of the things we found recently, we were working with a developer in Long Branch, and we were running ads on our site through Homes in Long Branch for this developer. We were getting a better response from the Homes in Long Branch site than he was from his own builder site.
Now, was that because you guys were running more strategic ads, or was
I think
because
it had like a
that
third party validation thing. Yeah, it was like
again,
this.
That's a nice validation for them because again, now it's almost like you've put your seal of endorsement on it versus them just getting targeted with an ad for a developer.
Correct. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting for future developments.
Yeah, no,
future kind of and bigger developers would probably see value in that.
Yeah, you want to insert yourself in that community. I mean, it's hard. Some of these builders they've never been to New Jersey. They ended up with this project, and
there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of noise in the marketing space. So anything you could do to kind of direct them in, and then I'm sure that there's a lead capture right on the site that can start a drip campaign, right?
Yeah. We have the local guides are most popular.
Yep.
But we have free home. What's your home worth? A home value button on there, and a free buyer's guide, that kind of stuff.
Where do you see this going?
Listen, it's evolving, as like we said. We were really just focused on the real estate side, but it's turned into. I remember being in a program in New York City a couple of years ago when I was. It was like a Shark Tank kind of thing, and we made our presentation, and at the end I said, well, this is my real estate portal, and they said the only mistake we think you made is that it's not a real estate portal, it's an advertising monster. So it's because listen, people love to look at real estate. You know what I mean? The nosy neighbors and
But everybody and
moving
people
to
get
town.
ideas.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure. I'm sure. I know my wife loves Redfin, so I'm sure that like some of the ideas that have been
yeah.
constructed in my home came from Redfin.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Better Homes is
yeah.
another one. Yeah.
So
They
I'm
all have
sure
their,
that that's the thing, and then the nosy neighbor definitely
yeah.
is something that people want to see what everybody else has in their
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Now you're going to take this nationwide now, right?
It's funny. We just did our first. I had a couple people who knew me around the country that,
Yep.
that are using it, and we just did our first presentation this past week in Texas. We actually have it was 15 or 20 loan officers on the call, and so we'll see how it
Did
rolls.
they like
yeah,
it?
yeah, they loved it. It was they
What-
were
and-
fighting over the towns already.
Wow, that's so cool. That's
Yeah, it
so
is pretty
great to
cool.
see, like
Yeah.
something that again, it's been a pet project of yours because you have to sell real estate for a living. But like to see this coming to be, like I'm excited for you. This is
Thank you.
great.
Thank you.
So and now just in the hustle of 44 years of like you've seen some highs and lows. I mean, what do you for that young person who's looking to get into real estate, like what's your advice so that someone knows like what they're getting into? Because in real estate there's not a salaried position. You make money when you sell something, or when if you're the buyer's agent and someone buys something. But I mean, at the get go, it's a hustle to get started in this. Once you're established and you're in it for 44 years and you have a team of X amount of people working for you, it gets easier. But then you have a different problem. You're managing them. But what do you think for like if you were to do this again, if you were if a young person's watching this, like what's your take on what they should be thinking about and what they should know?
That's a great question. And one of the things I'm the most proud of, to be honest with you, is that there's probably more companies in Monmouth County run by people who worked for me at some point. When I was younger, I didn't like losing them.
Yeah.
But today I'm very proud of that. And
That's a sign of a testament of your leadership and development.
I appreciate that. And I think what I like to take from this is that we were talking before about interviewing people and things, and I meet some people and I think they're going to be great, and then I meet some that turn out to be not so great. And
you only have an hour with these people, and everybody doesn't come to the interview like on there. They come with their best foot forward. Yeah. It's not like let me show them what I'm really about.
Yeah, right. The challenge is that we're taught, as kids, even going through school, to get good grades so you can get a job. You can work for somebody. We're not taught to go into our own business.
No.
And that's the biggest challenge that I find. And I think one of the things I inspire people about is that if I can do it, anybody can do it. All right. And I'm happy about that. But I really love today. And my joy, to be honest with you, is my agents have been with me a long time. The real estate industry has such a turnover and movement. Everybody's trying to recruit people. I've been very lucky to have people stay with me for a long time. And I think that I'm passionate about helping them build their business. Mm-hmm. I know what it takes to get there and do it. I've done it over and over again for hundreds of agents now over the years. And so that's what I like the most. What I say to new agents, you have to have a plan. One of the hardest parts is that most new businesses fail. And you're a new business. You're beginning. You're going to start your own business, and that's my challenge when I see somebody. When I hire somebody, I got a job. They didn't get a job. I got a job.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And my job is to help them build their business.
And I think the good thing though in their world, I mean, and tell me if I'm wrong, they have you as a support system. Like when I started Wingman, I was a one-man show. I was selling the job, then I would come back to my house working from home, do the work, and then I'd go show the customer the work, and I would be the billing guy who I would take the payment. Then I'd run to the bank, and like now I have a team of 20. So like my new account managers, which is equivalent to about your sales agents, or they have a team support them. They have Tony to build the website for them. They have Taylor to do the social media. So they don't have to go do it like back 15 years ago when I started, when I was doing both. So like they have in their world is somewhat similar to the people that work at Wingman now. They don't have to do all the parts. They have to go find the relationships. They have to inspire confidence in the seller or the buyer. They have to go to the home. They have to help them work through it. But then when they have a back office.
Yeah. And my phone is, my brother says this to me all the time. He goes, I don't understand how you can answer your phone anytime, everywhere you're at. Like
Yeah.
that's a,
Entrepreneurs are built differently because I do the same thing.
but he says to me, he goes, I don't care where you're at. You pick up the phone, and it's like my agents know that.
Yep.
And listen, I have enough staff that actually supports them that
Yep.
it doesn't ring off the wall. But I am always there. If somebody wants it, I know it's not 9 to 5.
Yeah.
All right. And
You didn't sign up for 9 to 5.
Yeah. And there's no real training program in real estate that can answer all those questions every day. There's always something new. So.
But, I think that having the support system is key to them, because that helps them realize it's possible too.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be bad days. There's going to
no.
be days where a seller says something or changes their mind, or a buyer pulls out last minute, or where there's like craziness going on. And again, you can at least talk them, walk them off the ledge.
That's where I got all these gray hairs from.
I feel your pain. I'm right there with you. So, how many people are on the team currently?
We have over 100 agents.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And then our staff is probably about 6 or 7 people, but they've been with me a long time, so my staff is
They know what they're
phenomenal.
doing.
It's really, I'm very lucky.
Yep.
Very
What
lucky.
got you into real estate to start?
So the story is, out of high school, I never went to college. I ended up becoming a messenger for a mortgage company, and I delivered closing documents. And the true story is that I actually I got my broker's license without ever selling a house, because back then they grandfathered me for my mortgage experience.
Okay.
Can't do that anymore today. So literally,
But is your
when
mortgage experience just being the messenger?
No, I ended up becoming a loan officer.
Okay.
They ended up teaching. They said, "Listen, how'd you like to be a loan officer?" And I ended up, getting my. So that back then there was no mortgage licensing
Yep.
either. So they encouraged you to go get your real estate license. So I was 18. I got my real estate license, and a couple of years later, I got my broker's license because I qualified after 3 years. But
Yep.
they didn't have to have sales. So literally, we joke about it a lot back then. When I opened the company, I literally never sold a house.
That's so funny.
But I started the real estate business for the mortgage originations.
Yep.
That was my concept. And, the whole world has evolved now to this full service, do mortgage insurance and all that stuff. So, and honestly, one of the key things about real estate is the ability to do financing. So, when I think back of the difficult times and difficult years to get through real estate, when things are really bad, my ability to do financing and unique types of financing were one of the keys to help us survive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now, how long? You didn't have 100 agents and 5 offices. Like that over the years, you just kept acquiring and expanding.
Yeah.
And now, you're doing something in Florida now?
Yeah, we have 2 offices now down in Florida. Yeah, and I ended up buying a place down there, so I was down there, and one thing led to another.
And you couldn't not talk to people, and you couldn't just enjoy being down there for a couple months.
Yeah. So it's listen, so if somebody's looking to go there, it's funny now. We actually have we have 2 offices, but there's probably 10 agents now.
Wow.
So yeah.
And some of you New Jersey agents probably ready to go down
A
there.
lot of them do both. I have a girl right now from Marco Island, and she goes back and forth, and somebody in Jupiter. Yeah.
That's awesome. And now, what's the plan for continued growth? Or
I kind of like. I don't want to say I was trying to slow down.
I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know, but it was like we were really happy. COVID changed our life, to be honest with you, the way we do business. We had a lot more offices back then, and we don't need it anymore. People pretty much work from home. But I honestly, I think we have a platform that could still grow based on the model. And I'm seeing it over and over again, whether I like it or not. So, our goal is to pretty much keep taking care of our agents. And, as opportunities come, we just opened an office up in Hackensack.
And what made you go to Hackensack?
Somebody called us. They had a small brokerage, and they were looking to affiliate. They looked at some franchises, and they said, would you consider doing something with us? And we have a model that we basically can bring on small brokers and let them kind of have their own business within our network, and it's working out.
What do you think of the franchise brokerages for real estate?
Listen, it's good for some people. It's good for it's got has the the little training packages and things like that. So there's some franchises out there that I think would definitely help if somebody was looking to open up their own. That gives them some structure.
It gives a little bit of structure, and it gives them
name brand,
yeah.
branding. Yeah.
So now yours is a little bit differently. Yours is more like a affiliate
Yeah,
program.
yeah, like a partner. I'll partner
Yep.
with a branch, so they fall within our, we call it a net branch, but if they fall under our umbrella, so we're able to, provide the accounting and the backroom stuff that,
That
the
no one's
typical
really
broker
good
really
at.
wants to
Yeah.
do. Yeah, yeah. So, and then we have the marketing system. So it's what I love, when I compare, I have franchises call us all the time, right?
Yeah.
They love us to be a franchise of theirs, right? And I know what I've built with this platform for our agents, and I don't. I haven't found a need for that yet.
Now, any agent, so you have 100 agents. So someone that's in Belmar, say you don't have anything in Belmar right now, but you have something in Tom's River. So homes in Tom's River, how does it work with your agents? Who gets it? Like,
So there's an agent asks, there's certain ones they want, you know what I mean? So and then some towns we have a couple agents on,
Yep,
but
that's okay.
it's all who works, yeah, because it's all who works it, right? You can, it's, you have the system. It's like bring the horse to the water. And that's the same thing. I have some agents who are in the town and they work it, and some don't. And it's not for everybody.
Yep, sure.
There's other there. The unique thing about real estate is one of the things I think for new agents too to think about is that there's a couple alleys. All right, you're not just showing houses. You don't have to get in your car and show. There's property management. There's foreclosures. We have a whole series. New homes is one of my favorites. We work with a lot of home builders in New Jersey, and our platform's perfect for it because it's people are online looking. They
Yep.
like new homes. The quality of lead of a new home buyer is pretty good. So a new agent. One of my things I teach a new agent when they come on board is they don't. Prior to the internet. The successful agents were the ones who had listings. And the reason for that was that when you have a listing, you generate buyers.
Yep.
When the internet came around, that changed the game. And if agents would understand that they can advertise any house now.
Yeah.
Got it? So you don't even have to have listings to get buyers. But it hasn't gotten through to everybody yet. And that's one of the things I do right off the bat with a new agent. I'll say, listen, let's go pick a new home development near you and let's start advertising it because they all cooperate with us.
Yep.
And it helps you have inventory right off the bat.
And it probably gives them the builders some.
Oh,
they want to do business with you because now
absolutely.
you're spending your
Exactly.
money, your time, your effort to drive people to this location.
Yeah.
It's great. That's free piece of advice this morning for anybody that's thinking about being in real estate or is in real estate. And I think with real estate, I see from the wingman side. We have title agencies and mortgage guys that are, working with collaborative marketing to work with the realtor to get everybody, again, I think the real estate agent's the quarterback and then everybody kind of works together because once you have that buyer and you have that person, again, especially with limited inventory, that buyer is worth to everybody else in the process.
It's amazing. And that's one of the nice things about these town sites is it's almost like your own little B&I group.
Yeah.
But it literally, we are the focal point, the welcome mat. And once they come in, the money that gets spent from that beginning of that transaction between mortgage, the title, the insurance, the mover, the key, the keys,
The power washer, the painter,
it just goes down and down and down. And the more we can bring everybody together, the more you're able to recommend quality people. People aren't getting after Sandy. I remember going through some horrible stories there. We tried to help as many people as we could, but it was out of control. And the ability to have connections, even in our property management division, I'm so proud of that I have contractors that would jump tomorrow and do something, even get paid later. But know it gets done right.
But it's building that relationship.
Yeah, it's
and again,
amazing.
I think the hard part with that's the one bad thing about the internet is you've lost that relationship,
True.
that
That's true.
handshake relationship of I can call Larry, I know he's going to get it done for me. Versus I think it's good to put them on the internet, but they still need that face-to-face and building a relationship and talking to people.
Yeah.
Everybody's quick to hit a quick text versus.
Yeah.
But I think
Or a coupon, you got a coupon, you're going to get a savings or something. And,
it's that balance stuff.
Yeah.
But I love that concept, and I think that's the way the world is going. Anything I've heard Gary V talk about the local, that local
digital mayor. We need to be the digital mayor. Yeah.
And it's cool to see it happening. So I'm excited to see what the future brings for homes. I think that'll be cool as it goes on, and it's cool that somebody from Texas reached out to you.
I know, that's really neat.
And then once that happens, it starts to it's going to be organically expanding itself.
It really is. We even see it here now when you're starting to share different things and businesses are, the other day we promoted a cupcake company and they ended up shipping us cupcakes. Like it's
Yep.
really cool, little things that can happen in the
Definitely,
network.
and once you get into that social space, the world's yours.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you can start getting that constant reach, there's nowhere but up for that.
Yeah.
So this was great. I'm glad that you came in. Let people know how to find you. Give them your main site and then also the main Homes In site so that they can find you. And then if you want to put the social platforms out there.
Great, thank you very much. VRI Homes is our main platform, and Homes In, you just go to homesin.com or condosin.com, and you'll find us. It's pretty simple.
Awesome. Well, this was great. I can't wait to continue to hear about your expansion into the digital footprint, and we'll catch back up soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for
Pleasure.
coming in.
Thank you, buddy.